Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Monday, December 30th. We only have 1 day left after today of 2019. That is insane. It's almost 2020. The decade is almost over. But tonight I am joined by Matt at schools_01. Boomy is in the building tonight at Boomy TCF. I am at Zlilia, Lilja TCF on Twitter. The main page is at typical_Chicago. Go check out the Facebook and Instagram at Typical Chicago Fans. We put this out on Spreaker, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. Just type in Typical Chicago Fans. This will come up on there. Also, we're putting out a new Typical Chicago Fan podcast. Episode 60 will be out today, too, so go check that out on our Spotify, Apple, Spreaker. Go subscribe to the YouTube page. We put out both videos for that. The Typical Chicago Fan podcast and the TCF Morning Show on there. So go subscribe on there and leave us some comments. Go like the videos, whatever you got to do. Like I said, also on the Apple and Spotify, leave us a rate, subscribe, and review on that. That is my birthday is coming up here soon. That's all I want for my birthday is a beautiful rating from you guys, 5-star rating to help us out. We also, like I said, it's almost a new year. We want to thank all the people for the support that you've given us over the last year or so. We've done this show for about a month or so now, 2 months.
Yeah, a little bit over a month.
So they'll like the support that we get from here. It's just like I said, we wouldn't be doing this without the support of everyone out there. So thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for listening to this show. Thank you for watching us, whatever you do to support us. We thank you all for that. Thank you to our sponsors, The Muddy Otter. The cup is right here. Go check out The Muddy Otter, themuddy.otter.com on Facebook. Instagram is The Muddy Otter. Boomy over here said that they're going to be getting back into the flow of things here after the holidays. You know how the holidays can get crazy. So they're going to get back in the lab, back into making some pottery and woodworking stuff for the people. But also go to their website. They got some stuff left over from the holidays on there. If you want to check that out, but as you said, you can hit them up on Facebook or Instagram or their website, and you can get some customized stuff if you would like. Or just go on there and order. Also, Score Trader, Pigoy is going to be in right here and tell you about our new sponsor, Score Trader.
The TCF Morning Show is brought to you by Score Trader. We here at the TCF Morning Show are happy to partner with Score Trader, a free-to-play trading app for fantasy football offering real cash prizes for Week 17 and the playoffs. Score Trader is a whole new experience for prediction gaming. There's no fixed lineup requirements. You simply get 150,000 Score Trader tokens each week to trade players and build a portfolio. So you can own one quarterback, 3, or none at all. You're never forced to own anyone you don't want to. Buy shares to easily make picks, sell for an early profit, or hold through games, which carries more risk but higher potential reward. The top 3 performing players by position are your winners if you own them and will increase in value, while players outside the top 3 will value at 0 at event's end. It's a simple format to make and manage your picks and also engaging as you can track shifting live stats and player leaderboards with your investments on the line, all in the app, which also has news, watch lists, and market research. Users are ranked by net gain each week, and Score Trader is offering $500 weekly in total cash prizes to the top 3 traders. Markets are already live for players playing on Sunday. This is free edge, so there's no reason not to take your positions and download Score Trader on the App Store. You can follow Score Trader on Instagram and at Score Trader app on Twitter as well. Some players we have our eyes on in Week 17 are Tom Brady, Ezekiel Elliott, Daniel Jones, George Kittle, and Adrian Peterson. Us here at TCF will be making more picks this weekend and talking about our live results on our upcoming shows. Look for our TCF logo on the Top Traders leaderboard. That's TCF Chicago. Thank you to Score Trader for partnering with the TCF Morning Show.
Thank you, Pigoy, for that beautiful, beautiful read. Shout out to Score Trader. Thank you for all the support that you have. Like I said, Week 17 is over, but there will be playoffs for Score Trader, so be on the lookout for that on the App Store at Score Trader. I think they got Facebook and Instagram, Twitter. Just type in Score Trader. You'll find them on there. Thank you to Owen for all the support. First, topic of the day, boys. Week 17 is the final regular season NFL week. We just watched the Seahawks get very close to winning the game. Locked up the 1 seed for the 49ers throughout the playoffs, so that'll help them out a lot. Like we were saying for the Packers, Boomy is a Packer fan, but you don't want to go to San Francisco and play, and you would love your chances.
You'd just rather it go through your
Lambeau.
home field. Yeah, it's
especially
simple as
Lambeau.
that.
It's going to be cold at this time of year. It's going to be a little different for like a San Francisco team. But now they will have to go to – will they have to go to San Francisco or Seattle, or are they going to be the – are they going to be the 2 seed now?
Yeah, Green Bay's the 2 seed.
So at least they only have to go to San Francisco.
Yeah.
But
and they've already lost at San Francisco. I feel like it's hard to beat a team twice in 1 year in the similar setting, especially in the playoff setting. So obviously you'd prefer it to go through Lambeau if you're a Packers fan. But hey, make it tough on them, and but you got to get there first. You got to win. Got to win your first round game first.
Yeah. So who will they get?
It'll all depend on how the wild card week goes.
But they'll be at home. So like I said, I was a little nervous. You get Packers at home throughout the playoffs. So you don't know what bad thing can happen. No Monday Night Football this week, boys. Sad for that. We are officially done with Monday Night Football. We've been done with Thursday Night Football. Like I said, we only got really the weekend left of we got Saturday and Sundays left of a little NFL playoff football. Sadly, this NFL season is coming to an end. We'll get into the first game. It's mine and Matt's Chicago Bears. They beat the Minnesota Vikings 21-19. Pretty much Vikings preseason lineup out there. They didn't have their quarterback, even though their crazy quarterback Kirk Cousins was on the sideline in helmet, full uniform, wanting to play. Dalvin Cook didn't play. A lot of their defensive players didn't play out there. The Bears get a nice win, but they also had 13 points from their kicker. Trubisky looked all right, I guess. Montgomery, though, I thought he looked pretty good today. You just need to put him in the right spot. I think he is going to be a pretty decent running back going over the next few years here. I don't think we should give up on him just yet. I think we need to give him at least another year in a good offense. And everyone keeps talking about quarterback, running back, defense, this and that. If the offensive line doesn't make a change before next season, don't even go out there and play. It doesn't matter. This offensive line has been horrible this year. It's been insane.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, that's as big of a problem as Mitch has been. The offensive line has been equally bad, but I don't know. I think you look at the line Trubisky had today. It was 37 to get to 207 yards. Come on,
a lot of checkdowns, and that seems like it's all been
insanity, dude. Like just nickel and dime your whole way down.
Yeah, they didn't play terrible today, but it seemed like the play calling just wasn't to win, and it seems like that's been happening throughout this season. Like I understand. Maybe Mitch isn't set up for what Matt Nagy's offense needs to be, but then you figure out what the offense could be for your quarterback instead of forcing him to make these RPOs and all this shit that is not working.
One thing that kind of drives me nuts, too, I'm kind of just perusing the box score, and you look a little bit, and you look at this was a game the Bears had nothing to gain. They don't have a first-round pick. It's not going to do anything for draft position for any kind of a high pick this year. So what are you doing throwing 12 targets to Allen Robinson and 4 to Riley Ridley?
You get Riley. Get some of the younger guys some looks.
And 10 targets to Tariq Cohen, and I guess Anthony Miller got hurt too, but he only had 1. Like Javon Wims was good to see him get thrown the ball. He only had a couple catches, but I don't know.
We didn't really
Montgomery looked good, but
we didn't use the game to our advantage. We should have gotten some younger guys into it, guys who aren't. Like we said, we understand Allen Robinson will be back here next year as probably our one wide receiver. Tariq Cohen, who will be back next year as the punt returner, probably still running back. Those guys are not the guys that we're worried about in Week 17 of a season that doesn't matter. We want to get to look at guys who haven't played a lot this season and maybe could contribute next year.
One thing I never thought I would say is I think I'm okay with Kwiatkowski coming back as a possibly starting middle.
He played himself into a spot.
At least with Roquan, I mean, because you can't bring Trevathan back, unfortunately. Just contract, the age, all of it.
Yeah, I don't think that he would be a Chicago Bear.
Kwiatkowski, I think, is a good fit along with Roquan. He's a smart player. Look at that play he had on the safety, man. That was a phenomenal tackle. It was a great read, great jump of the play. Good tackle itself. Guy like that, somebody you can kind of just keep on the cheap is going to be productive.
And I know
that was at least one shining light today, I guess, in my opinion.
When do we just sit down and say Leonard Floyd stinks? He has done nothing to be productive for this defense. He maybe had 1 or 2 sacks this year. He's never had really a breakout season. It just seems like he just isn't what we thought he was going to be, and it sucks.
Well, if you're not going to do it opposite Khalil Mack, then who are you going to do it?
The man is,
what's your help
he 6'5" or so? He's humongous. And it just seems like
he's got all
he
the
can't
tools,
get to the quarterback. He just can't get to the quarterback. So I think that experiment may be over this offseason. I don't know. I guess you really don't know what the contract deal is with him, but I think that they're going to have to move on from him sooner or later. Hopefully we come back with a healthy defense. Like I said, we've got Trevathan's been out, Akeem Hicks been out, who else has been out? Oh, Roquan. Yeah, Roquan was out. He was having a pretty good year this year. I think Roquan is going to be a very good linebacker in the NFL.
Yeah, outside of that weird, couple weeks.
Well, yeah, I wasn't playing.
They wouldn't talk about what was going on or whatever.
Yeah, the personal issues
stuff.
Outside
of that, it was he had a
Green Bay goes to Detroit, wins 23-20. I said that was the most predictable comeback of all time. You knew that the Lions weren't going to be, especially because the Packers wanted to win that game, and that's just. I mean, I did not notice this. The over-under was 44, and it was 43. So that would have sucked if you had that. But I live bet the Packers. It makes you sick to your stomach. But you could just see it. You knew it was going to happen. Lions stink. The quarterback went out. Was it Blau?
Blau, yeah.
He went out there. He played pretty well in the first half. They could not sustain it in the second half. The Packers went out there with a mission.
Well, then also at the end of the game, I mean, there was like 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and the Packers, get the ball to the Lions, and then the Lions run 3 plays and take 13 seconds off the clock, and you're like, yeah, dude, this is not going to end well.
They got nothing to play for. They've won 3 games all season. They're just.
Matt Patricia, I don't know if he's going to be a coach next year.
I don't think this game was going to be the reason they kept. If they kept him around because they beat the Packers in week.
But honestly, if they would have came out after the game and said Matt Patricia is no longer going to be the coach, would anybody have been surprised?
No.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. As you're going into that situation, you got to keep that in your mind. It hasn't happened yet, but
any NFL team that goes whatever record they have, unless they have a Bill Belichick or a Mike Tomlin or like an Andy Reid, they're possibly going to get fired, I think. Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of guys.
Some are just more realistic cases than others, and I think it was a very realistic case.
That's what I mean.
Matt Patricia was going to get fired.
That's why I said Bill Belichick. Mike Tomlin will never be fired. Andy Reid will never be fired. What?
He should be.
I think Mike Tomlin's a very good coach. For what he had this season, he turned it into, like I said, they ended up losing to the Baltimore Ravens today, 28-10. Robert Griffin III got a little playing time today. I forgot he was even in the NFL. Honestly.
Oh yeah, he's back up.
So that eliminated them. But Pittsburgh, we were talking on the podcast that maybe they didn't. As a fan, you don't want your team, and I hate to say that, but you knew there was no chance of them really doing anything. You can just kind of walk into the sunset. I'm guessing Ben will be back next year. I don't see really unless he doesn't want it. Unless he retires, I don't think he will not be the starting.
Start working out. He looked like he gained about 45 pounds so far since.
I think he does that every offseason, so I don't think they're too worried about it. He's usually looking thicker at the end of the season.
He's a thick boy.
Matt, any thoughts on the Green Bay Baltimore game at all? Two different games. First of all,
I thought the Steelers that game kind of surprised me a little bit because. The Steelers' defense is pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's kept him in the playoff hunt the whole season.
They gave up 130 yards to a backup running back and Gus Edwards. He's a good running back. But
Duck got hurt, right?
It's not. I don't.
I thought I'd see. Maybe it was just a bad sack.
I think he played the whole game, as far as I know. He just wasn't very good.
Both of those backups were the 2 quarterbacks that they have right now. Just. It doesn't seem like you're going to be able to get much. Mason Rudolph.
I only had that game on the red zone, and the few times it popped up, it was pretty rare. But at one point, I think it was late in the third quarter, it said Juju hadn't had a catch yet. So you might want to get your best player the ball. Usually
Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't think he got hurt today.
I just seen that maybe he just had a tough sack.
If they did, but I don't know. It was a rough game for him, that's for sure.
Dallas beats the R words 47-16, but it ends up not mattering because the Eagles beat the Giants 34-17. The Giants made it a game for a little bit, but the Eagles
It sure
Another
did.
team who, yes, they're going to be in the playoffs, but they have so many injuries right now, and I just don't see a path.
Hey, they're going to be home dogs against Seattle on Sunday, so something to start thinking of. I think they're going to be maybe
because they got the division.
because they're the division winners. They might be a 4.5, 5-point dog. I like that at home.
That is a very, very live dog.
What do you?
Yep.
I like.
What do you guys think? Do you think that's? I guess it's never going to change it, but I understand. Yes, they are the division winner. But if your record is like that, like that much worse than the team you're going to play, I think you should get the home.
Yeah, I mean,
way.
you say that looking at it now, but if it was the Bears in that situation, you'd be like, nope, we won the division.
I would still say that it's not fair. I mean, it sucks. I mean, you are the better team. You had the better season. You just were in the wrong division.
Yeah, I
So-
mean,
You can do that at
usually
anything,
doesn't
though.
Yeah.
Like, the Bears were going to go to the Super Bowl, and I wanted to change the location. I would say it too. But I'm just saying.
This is kind of an outlier. You know, it's kind of an outlier, really. I mean, it just doesn't happen too frequently.
It's
where,
happening
like,
more
the home team is
more than you
it's
think,
happened
especially
like
for
three
those
times in the last, I don't know, 10, 12 years. You'll get it every once in a while. Usually it kind of helps itself out. It plays itself out. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Philadelphia has enough to beat Seattle.
No, they don't.
But I do think, given the right spread, they have enough to cover against Seattle.
Yeah, but I just don't see the. Like I said, they got the injuries. I just think that the Seahawks got more talent, but they also have gotten no Josh Gordon. They got Marshawn Lynch back, but who knows how he'll be in a playoff game or whatever in the next few weeks. So
No Chris Carson.
No, like I said, but the Eagles, on the other hand, also have a lot of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be an exciting game there.
Hey, the Browns
Yeah, they
lose
said
and
at one
Freddie
point
Kitchens
there-
gets fired. No, nothing surprising there.
No. Nothing too. Miami being the Patriots, one of the biggest upsets of the day.
That cost my New England the 2 seed. That cost them to play. New England's going to have to play this coming weekend.
I thought they had that locked up.
Nope. Kansas City is the 2 seed now. New England is hosting Tennessee Saturday afternoon.
Just more fuel to their fire, honestly.
Vrabel versus Belichick.
Yep.
Good matchup.
So yeah, that'll be exciting. It'd be nice to see the Patriots go out.
Game just
week one.
opened at 4.5. I think I'm going to have to hammer New England minus 4.5 there.
I think I like the Titans. We're going to
What's
give
the
them a
total?
game.
What's the total?
I haven't seen. I just saw it on Twitter. So
They don't have it out yet. I don't see it on here. Sports Action does not. It's the only game that's actually set up.
hang on. I just got it. 40.
40. I like the over.
Oh, hammer the
Oh, we
over.
do have
Love
spreads.
the
So
over
Bills
now.
at Texans next week. Texans minus 3, over under at 38.5. Titans at the Patriots. Patriots minus 4, over at 40. Vikings at the Saints. Saints minus 7, over 44.5. And the Eagles actually open up at minus 1, over under at 45.5.
Yeah, any home dog in a playoff game will probably get
Yeah,
the advantage. And like I said, with what the last few weeks have been for the Seahawks, they're kind of walking in, not struggling, but with a little bit
Right.
different of a team from the season. The Rams took care of the Cardinals by a touchdown. I would have liked to see the Cardinals win that game because they had the money line. Falcons beat Tampa. Jameis Winston
30-30 club.
walks off with a pick 6 in the OT to join the 30 interceptions, 30 touchdown club. Wants to be paid over.
And 5,000 yards, too.
What a season for the man. We'll see if he gets paid this year. I don't know. He's going into a free agent year, I'm pretty sure. Wants somewhere around $25 to $30 million.
He's going to convince someone to pay him an absorbent amount of money, which is sad.
The Chiefs, like you said, beat the Chargers, get the 2 seed. The Jets beat Buffalo in a game, yes, Josh Allen didn't play. Actually, the Jets started off as 1-point favorites
Did they really?
on the road. So yeah, that just shows you who Buffalo was playing there. They were pretty set in their playoff spot. Saints 42-10. Oakland, what was the Oakland
They
game?
lost to Denver.
Lost to Denver by 1. By 1, I could have used that.
Yeah, they went for a deuce. Went for a deuce at the end of the game.
Oh,
Didn't
okay.
Convert.
Tennessee beats the Texans.
Gets themselves
pretty
into the
handily.
playoffs.
Tennessee, like I said, I it's not a team that would scare you if you're the Patriots, but they could have some momentum going in there. Tannehill.
I just know
Derrick
the
Henry.
last time I bet on the Titans in a playoff game, they got absolutely smacked in the mouth. So
Like I said, it could happen. Like I said, you go into New England, maybe you're kind of feeling the pressure, but I think it will be a good game. And like I said, it would be kind of nice to see for once the Patriots not in the playoffs after week 1 of the
Yeah,
NFL
I would
playoffs
love
be the
to see
first-
it. I just don't think it's realistic.
I think it's more realistic than I don't know. I kind of like this Tennessee team. They kind of got some mojo going. Their coach is not going to let them think that they should lose this game. And like a New England team that lost to the Dolphins, yes, they probably weren't playing all their players, but it meant something.
Yeah.
And you're kind of screwed yourself there with you would love to win that game and not have to play. Like I said, you're probably going to be able to beat the Titans, but that's one extra game you got to play in the playoffs, and that's just another scare that you kind of got to go through. Like I said, New England's track record in the playoffs, you can't say it's not amazing, but this year could maybe be different. You would love to see it, but I think that, as I said, if anything, it'll be a good game. I think it'll just be exciting. I think Rabel will have his team ready to go. And Bill Belichick, you never know. He could come out very mad at his team, and they could score 40, 50 points.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, I'm going to hammer if I can get -4.
I think I'm going to take a money line Titans there. I think I like that a lot.
Ugh.
How about Derrick Henry? Quick.
That's what I'm saying.
My God, what a season he had, man. He sat out last week too with 1,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, won the rushing title.
They can get that if they can get that running game going with Tannehill playing pretty well lately. I think they can at least keep them in the mix there in New England to be exciting.
AJ Brown is a stud, dude.
I think the Titans are
not a lot
a
of people
low-key,
are talking
very
about
good
that kid,
team.
but that dude is ridiculous.
I know the Texans.
They got a nice little offense going.
Texans probably weren't playing everybody today, but the Titans were 10-point favorites and covered that.
Yeah.
I think they pushed.
No, they covered easy.
Oh yeah, they did. Who pushed? Who won by 10? That was 10. I don't remember.
Chiefs, wasn't it?
College football. We had the college football playoffs this weekend. LSU beats Oklahoma 63-28. Great game. Kind of got not boring, but after the first half, you knew what was going to happen. Joe Burrow with 7 touchdowns, almost 500 yards, 493 throwing, 1 rushing TD, just took over the game. Justin Jefferson, 14 catches, as Boomy reminded me, 227 yards, 4 touchdowns, and I think they were all in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. Just an amazing game by the LSU offense, and the defense was just kind of hanging around, made sure that they stayed out of even trouble. And Jalen Hurts, 217 yards, no touchdowns, 1 INT. Didn't really have much to play with because his team was just playing from behind the whole game. Matt, what are your thoughts on the LSU-Oklahoma game?
That was a performance, man. That was incredible to watch. First half, Burrow was just lights out. He had 408 yards, I think, in the first half alone. Like you said, 7 touchdowns. Added another one on the ground, too. They're going to be damn tough to stop for Clemson. And, you saw Ohio State have some success and against Clemson's defense. But able to move the ball on the ground, especially with J.K. Dobbins. And Fields had a good game. But LSU's a different animal. And I don't think anything is stopping them right now. I find that really concerning that line is still under a touchdown. I think you're going to see that tick up over 6.
Boomy said it started at 3.5, 3.
Yeah,
it's up to 5 now. Clemson,
I got
5.5. It's just going to keep rising, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's going to get bet up to about a touchdown or so. Clemson beats Ohio State 29-23. Like I said, Trevor Lawrence had a great game. 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, but rushed for 16 carries, 107 yards, 1 touchdown. Had himself a game. Justin Fields played very well with 320 yards, 1 touchdown, but threw 2 interceptions. That bad one at the end, just kind of looked ugly. Threw 46 times, but there was the controversial play. The Clemson play. It was the Clemson player.
That's a catch.
They said it was a catch. They said it wasn't a catch. He made the move and then the fumble and everything. They called it back. I don't think that's the reason Ohio State lost the game, really. Yes, you can technically say, yes, they could have had points there. But they had chances throughout the game. J.K. Dobbins, 18 carries for 174 yards, 1 TD. This was, like I said, the 2 games, like you said, the scores will even say. That was a good game. At least it was exciting till the end. I got to watch it at the wedding. What did you have on? Did you have anything on the game, Matt?
Just like Clemson in the under. So that was
You didn't bet on the game.
Yeah, I had Ohio State's money line.
Oh, yeah, so.
Absolute piss poor officiating job. Officially under protest.
You would say that on a team you bet on.
Yeah, because they lose by 6 and they got a touchdown taken away. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying.
They should have won by 1. If that game was officiated correctly, they won by 1.
I I think the play under question though, if you watch it in real time, it's far different than watching it in slow motion. And I think it's just very, very disputable that that's a catch or not a catch. Watching it live,
I think the definition of a catch is just so tough nowadays.
I think like you can make anything look like a catch when you freeze frame it or go to a slow mo or go to a stop. And I think that's where the camera kind of is a little bit deceiving on a play like that. But I still would like to hear what the hell happened on the final play when Fields basically just threw to a wide open.
Yeah, I don't know if he thought the guy was supposed to maybe cut over there, or if he just misread it or something. Because that wasn't close.
Well, I thought I heard that there was a route cut off or something, but man, that was just that was one of those. I bet you, like in his brain, once the ball left his hand, he had to be like, "Oh no, my God, what did I just do?"
Like, oh wait, he's not wearing the same color uniform I am.
Yeah. That's a tough play.
Still a good game. Like I said, two good games. Not good games.
Yeah,
LSU proved that they are the one. Oklahoma is about the fourth year that they've lost in the playoff.
They're 0-4 in the college football playoff.
I mean, it's impressive enough to be there, but
yeah,
they take a beating like no other.
Yes, they do.
I forgot to put the little symbol. So we have been talking college football. It hasn't been on the screen yet. I got so into it.
Hey, big one's coming up this week, though. Today we're going to see Illinois play in their first bowl game in 5 years.
The Red Box Bowl.
In, I believe, Santa Clara, California. The Fighting Illini are 6.5-point dogs. And then on Wednesday, one of the best days for college football. We'll talk a little bit more about them, but we have the Outback Bowl, the Citrus Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and the Sugar Bowl all coming up on Wednesday. It's going to be a good week as far as college football is concerned because we still have 2 weeks until
is there college bowl games all the way up until the national championship game, or is there like a little bit of a span of no games?
So there's games Thursday, there's a game Friday, Saturday, Monday, and then there's a week off,
Like we said, we still got 2 weeks until that, so I don't think there's
a whole week off between the last bowl game and then the national championship.
So at least with the LSU aspect of it, it'll make the Coach O, everything, all the interviews before the game, they'll be all blown up.
Mm-hmm.
Dabo is going to have we're not respected enough, this and that. They're going to go that route. I think it's going to be a great national championship game. I am going to be probably gambling on LSU. I've already made some bets with some people. I think
if that gets up to a touchdown or 7.5, I'm taking Clemson. I think it's going to be a close game.
I don't know. I see a route coming here, but
I think you're wrong. I think everybody's underestimating Clemson and the fact they've been in a national championship like 4 years in a row.
I don't think you're underestimated.
I think 7's a very key number.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's an extremely.
I want it to get to 7.5.
Yeah.
I would take it at 7.
It's where that's probably where he'd flip me too. Is 7, I'll probably leave it alone and just pick a side on the total or do something, first half. But I don't know. I think it starts sticking over 7. You give Clemson a full touchdown.
Yeah.
That starts looking like too big of a bargain to pass.
That's what I'm thinking.
I just am not as impressed. But like I said, if you are on the mindset of Clemson, then that's how you think. What is it? So is there an over/under on the game yet?
Yeah, it's 7.
That's got to be high as hell. I think there are going to be a lot of points scored in that game.
I mean, anything under a touchdown, I love LSU, but I just think that marker at 7 that changes everything. Yeah. When you start talking a full touchdown for a team like Clemson, I think that flips the script.
And haven't we also? I mean, obviously we know that Clemson routed Alabama. Was that last year? In the national,
and
but that's an anomaly.
A couple big plays defensively.
They got out of hand.
I mean, that was a couple pick six.
Yeah, you usually see those games played in a pretty close margin. I just don't think you can get, like you said, that I think 7.5 is the number. Obviously, 7 you're looking at a push, but I think it's going to be a close game. So I don't think Clemson's going down without a fight.
You say that though, but I think LSU is almost on the same kind of route that Clemson was in that Alabama game.
Alabama was the higher rated seed.
I understand that, but they had momentum, and I think this LSU team has got nothing but momentum. They crushed Oklahoma. Their offense is unbelievable. Their defense unbelievable. I think it's a mixture for a kind of a route in the national championship game. Let's see here. We had the Blackhawks. They beat the Blue Jackets tonight in OT in a shootout. Robin Leonard gets I think it's got to be his first shootout, maybe win of the year. He's had some struggles with it throughout the year. Again, they won technically 3-2, but the only reason they stayed in that game was because of some of the stops that Robin had. That defense is still giving him no opportunity to get a rest out there. It's going to catch up with them throughout the season. But tonight was the first night they've got a win without Patrick Kane scoring a point. So that is just proves to you how big of how he's
But
had
he's not
this
top 10 of
offense
the
on his
decade.
back all season.
And he's not top 10 in the decade.
Yeah, get out of here
that's
with that
unbelievable.
nonsense.
But a kind of a jarring number. They are minus 16 now in difference of goals throughout the season. So that we talk about it in football, whatever, but that shows you how bad your defense really is. They're about 4 or 5 points out of the last wild card spot. So we'll see with that. But other than that, I don't see much to do with this team. They're going to keep kind of pulling you in and back. But maybe they can sneak into the playoffs. We still got a lot of time until that starts.
A lot of time. Yeah, they got to get the offense going. But like you said, you nailed it. The offense has to get consistent, but they're not going anywhere if this defense continues to just give up barrages of shots on goal every night. So got to get that in figured out first and foremost. But with all the injuries, it just scares me.
Yeah, it's not good. Matt?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's one of those things. We're playing the yo-yo game a little bit where they suck you in, and then you got to go bouncing away again, and they kind of pull you back in a little bit, and kind of roll away again. It's just, I don't know. I don't think they got enough horses. If you can get in the playoffs, anything can happen, especially with a hot goalie. Who they would actually pick to start a game one of a playoff game would be, obviously, that's a question we don't need to worry about at this time. But it'd be kind of an interesting question to answer or see unfold too if that time did come. But
yeah, they can keep it exciting.
Give me something to watch because right now still don't have anything from any of my other teams.
They're back to 500, 17, 17, and 6, so that's at least something there. Yeah, but you just gotta
rattle off about 4 or 5 straight wins.
Yeah, or at least just prove that not even 4 or 5 in a row. Just like if you lose a game, don't lose 3 or 4 in a row. Like at least keep it consistent. At least keep the team going. It seems like they lose a game and they lose 3 or 4 ugly and stuff like that. It's just
right.
Like tonight they came back. They were down 2-0, I think, and came back, tied it up at 2-2 and won in the shootout. So they have proven that they can come back, but they also have proven that they can give up some big leads. We have our next subject is supposed to be for the guy who is not on the show tonight. It is the next TCF Great Debate, and we are going to figure it out and make him do it. Boys, any thoughts on what you think our next
All right,
TCF
but
Great
first
Debate?
we got to explain it to people who maybe weren't around last year when we did it. We had the TCF Great Debate was we created a 64-team bracket. Matt created a 64-team bracket, and that's really how our relationship began unfolding with Maddie. So we chose the best rappers to make a bracket of that, and it got some really good responses. Matt, who was our greatest rapper of all time last year? Do you remember?
I think we ended up with Eminem.
Eminem, okay. So we got to come up with a new one for this new
We
year.
also had Chicago sports athletes, or we had something
Our favorite, I think it was our favorite athlete, so not necessarily the best, but your favorite.
Yes,
and we also
I forgot about that one.
Professional. We did professional wrestlers too.
Yeah, I definitely forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait, I do remember voting on a couple of those. Just basically if I remembered the name. But we got to come up with a new one. It's been a while. And here's my idea. And like I said, this is just kind of a brainstorm.
I have a question. I have one, but I just don't know if there's enough options. Sports movies. Are there 64
I think there's 64 sports movies we could come up with.
Probably, yeah.
There's gotta be.
I think that would be a good one.
A little bit. If you kind of twist, maybe depending on how serious to the storyline.
Well, that's coming from the people who we get real particular about what kind of movies with the whole Die Hard Christmas. But I think that's just my kind of throwing out there.
That's a good one. I was thinking I know this would also be hard to define, but classic rock bands. Or even pick a genre like musicians from the 80s, musicians from the 90s, and they could be all over the place, right? So you could have the 80s, you could have rock and roll bands and rappers and country musicians and stuff like that. Just an idea. Or the 2000s, musicians from the 2000s. Just a thought.
Matt, you got one?
Well, I was thinking either sports video games or sports video game athletes. So obviously your Bo Jacksons and Tecmo Bowl, the Michael Vick and Madden, that kind of thing. Those are your
We'd
couple
have
of
to
your
go to a lot of the
obvious
old
one
school
seeds,
like games because it just seems like all the Maddens are the same now, and like all the baseball games are like this. Like the show has not really changed crazy. It's like in the last few years. So
now here's another one, Matt. You know we do the candy reviews, maybe top or the great debate on candy bars.
we could do that.
I don't hate that one at all.
I think we got a lot of good ideas here.
I think we got a winner. I love that one.
The
now
candy
that I
bar
think about
one?
I
it.
think that's a good one.
Yeah, because you can break up the 4 regions really like in a lot of different.
You could do like a
creative
chocolate
ways,
one.
we
You
did
could
with
do a
some-
fruit one. You could do a
right.
peanut butter one.
Like with the wrapper one, we did it by city region. So it was like New York, Atlanta, West Coast, and Chicago. So those were the 4 regions.
Yep.
Then I think with wrestlers we did 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s.
Yep.
So by decade, you could do something with candy bars very
We
easily.
do like
to kind of
chocolate or like
differentiate on a
sweets
region.
or like something like that, or just like a
And then you
caramel.
could do
Yeah,
like
you do-
the crazy flavor category.
yeah.
You know.
So I think we'll do that.
Or
I think
like
we'll
the-
take.
like the sweet and sour. So that's where you're like fireheads and airheads and shit.
Yeah.
like
I
that
think
are,
we should
you know what
take
I mean?
the candy one, do that first, and then maybe the movie or
I think
video
the
game
sports
one
movie,
next,
yeah.
and then we'll do like the rock one after. We'll do like for the next few weeks. We're gonna call it the Great Debate season, TCF Great Debate season.
Yeah.
And we'll start off with the candy. We'll get that one going, and then once that one's over with, maybe we'll do the movie, the sports movie, and then maybe we'll do a different kind of music. So
Maybe
like
we aim as in the new year, maybe we'd have like one every season. So like we'll get one going, and then once the weather
like I
starts
said,
to change,
even at that, like the 64 for the candy bar, that'll take a while.
that's what
So-
I'm saying.
And then we
And
kind
if the listeners have any ideas, I'm sure Pat Beals will drop us a good one. But if you guys have any ideas for something we can get 64 out of in debate, but I think
our
this
first
candy
one I think
is
is going to be candy bars. We're going to do that. We will start that in the next week or so here. We'll kind of pump that on here. We'll pump it on the podcast and everything. So the TCF Great Debate is back. We're going to do candy bars to start off here. I think that was a good one. It's like I said, a lot of options there for candy bars. It's the regions that are actually the fun thing to actually come up with, I think, especially for candy bars.
Yeah, I mean, you
Throw
just
it-
got to be careful because you got to be careful if we're going to do like a chocolate.
No, I think
region.
that when
You
I said
can't have, like-
chocolate-
you can't have like Snickers
Yeah.
and Twix as
See-
like in the same, like the East Coast
when I said
region.
chocolate, maybe it should be like caramel ones or like something more specific
Right.
than chocolate because a lot of the candy
maybe
bars are chocolate.
a nougat based one or nut based
Yeah.
one, whatever it may be.
I think we'll have some fun with this one. Boomy,
Yes, sir.
do you have a wacky web story?
I
for
sure
us?
do. Does a bear crap in the woods?
Apparently not on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's a little bit different story, all right?
It's-
They're usually hibernating, okay? Zach, I chose this one because you were recently at a lovely wedding, and I was curious, Zach, where did this wedding take place at?
Rockford, Illinois.
Okay, where are those specifically in Rockford? You don't have to get too specific, but like at a
So,
hotel or...
No, it was at a Lutheran church. The
Okay.
wedding itself, and then the reception was like at the Radisson. There's like a
Okay.
convention center hooked to it. That's where it was at. In
All right.
Rockford.
Well,
So that's-
I'm sure it was a lovely wedding,
was
but it has
beautiful.
nothing on Valerie Sneed and Jason Roy's wedding that happened Friday afternoon. They were joined by friends and family members in Worcester, Massachusetts for their wedding at Dunkin' Donuts.
Hey,
Yep.
you could get worse spots.
Yep.
You could go to worse spots.
So this
How many
couple-
people though?
From the pictures, not many. About
was gonna say, well-
20 maybe.
Well, if I was Dunkin' Donuts and they came in with a bunch of people, I'd be pissed.
Yes. So, and this is kind of
I think
a
it's
lovely
not
story.
even mad, but
A Massachusetts couple reunited for an extra sweet wedding vows at the same Dunkin' Donuts where their young love splintered nearly 30 years ago. So it seems like
makes sense.
they broke up at this place in 1992. And then kind of rekindled in February of 2018.
Wait, they broke up at the Dunkin' Donuts,
Yes.
and then didn't get
Then-
back together at the Dunkin'. Did they get back together at the Dunkin'?
That's what if I'm reading this correctly.
Okay, that makes sense because I thought if you just broke up there, then you probably wouldn't want to go back to that place. But if that,
Can I say that I don't like that move? I think that's like returning to the scene of the
that's
crime.
what I mean.
kind of
I don't
thing.
know unless like
I don't
I don't like
think
that at
that's
all.
a good
I
move.
think that's weird that you would go back to a place you broke up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like in 1992 they were really young.
Well, now
high
it's
schoolers.
2019 and we could have a wedding reception at
Yeah,
somewhere
I
other than a
agree.
Dunkin'. That's gotta be expensive. All that coffee.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's definitely cheaper than a normal
Well,
wedding, but
yeah,
you know,
that's-
it's not like it's.
Well,
If you're only having
and
20
there's
people,
always,
that wouldn't be
like,
that hard
Yeah,
of a wedding to
very
have.
true.
there's always regulars in the Dunkin' too. So a couple
Oh,
of
on
old
their
guys
computers,
sit at their
pissed.
table drinking
How many-
their black coffee and they're like 6 holes. Like those guys were taken for a loop.
How many
when that wedding
vagrants
party
and
just
bums
walks
do they
in.
have to shoo out of that Dunkin' Donuts? So like, bud, can you get out of here? You smell like a trash can, and we're trying to have a goddamn wedding.
Well, that's your own fault for having your wedding.
Yeah, I think you lose that power when you say I'm going to marry somebody in a Dunkin'
Yeah,
Donuts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's when that might be the only time when a bum looks down on you at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
But
You know what? I don't want your change.
Yeah, exactly.
You might need it more than I do.
I wouldn't mind going for a reception. You get some donuts, you get some coffee, you get some goodies. But
have a Dunkin' Donuts van show up with a bunch of donuts.
Well, the
and
weirdest
some
part would be
coffee
like,
at the reception, something like that.
what was the thought behind this? Oh, we broke up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
How'd you decide
Yeah.
on this particular Dunkin' Donuts? Oh, we broke up here 30 years ago.
So that's a way to go, I guess, if you want. There's one in Peru.
Yeah.
You can always have your reception there. It's not very big. You want
No.
to make sure you could get a
And
big
everybody is
Dunkin'
dressed.
Donuts.
I'll give it to these people. These folks are dressed to the nines. I see a lot of suit coats, a lot of ties. You know, it's
Love
not
it.
like it's like a typical what you would assume Dunkin' Donuts. I would assume a lot of jeans and maybe some.
Well, they had to go to the church before, I'm guessing, or they had the wedding.
No,
So-
dude. I mean,
the wedding itself? Oh, wow.
yeah, the actual wedding is in Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, like the
The
doesn't look
preacher's
that
there
bad.
and everything.
The picture, we'll put the picture up. The picture makes it look like a nice place. I mean, everyone is dressed very nicely.
I mean, they have a minister.
I don't think that, other than the whole story they broke up there, that kind of turned me off from the story. But other than that, I think I like the idea. Like I said, it's not like they have a little tiny Dunkin' Donuts. They got themselves a big Dunkin' Donuts. You got a crowd. Just think about walking in that Dunkin' Donuts. You could see a wedding and get coffee.
Yeah, you're just like on your phone. You're like, oh, I got to get my cup of coffee for the morning. You look at me like, oh.
There's a wedding going on.
I think I'd turn around.
They
and leave.
they flat out moved tables and everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah.
They got ready for it. It's a reception. They probably paid for that. You know that.
Do they have an open bar? You
Yeah,
think?
free coffee. No, actually, that'd be more expensive than maybe an open bar.
If they were smart, they would do it between 2 and 6 when you get $1.50.
Yeah, because if you really think about it, you'd be spending some cash if you're going to buy everyone's coffee.
Yeah, you got to go happy hour style.
Yeah, guys, we're not going to have the wedding until 2 because happy hour starts at 3. So
Well, it was a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you got to stick to the iced coffees, though, guys, because everything else is not.
If you don't like iced coffee, you're going to have to leave. Or go across the street and get your own.
I couldn't agree
Yeah, I
more.
don't think that there'd be an open barista.
maybe
Is that what they call it? Or is that Starbucks only?
You're asking the wrong.
I think you're
guy,
right.
pal.
I think
I know. Well, I know that's what they call the
barista
people
at
who
Dunkin'.
the makers of the drinks. Would be like baristas, or something like that.
I got no clue.
Really, you never heard that before?
Oh yeah, I know the
You're
word. I just
correct.
thought it was
You
coffee,
are-
so I
Zach,
don't
you're
know
correct.
if it transfers from.
You're correct.
I'm
don't
not a
worry.
big. I like coffee, but I never really go to places to get my coffee because other than the gas station, there's nowhere really close. But I would love to go to a Dunkin' Donuts every day and get a coffee. I would love it. It's the experience of going in there and seeing the people.
Well, now you can get married there.
No, I would get married at like a
McDonald's.
Applebee's
You
or
seem
something
like
like
a
that.
McDonald's wedding
No,
kind of guy.
no. I don't know. I like McDonald's, but I could never see myself getting married there. Well, unless we broke up there,
Yeah, that's
then maybe
true.
then maybe I would think about getting married back at the McDonald's that we broke up at. Thank you for the great Boomy's Wacky Web Story. Thank you to Matt at schools_01, Boomy at Boomy TCF for joining me tonight. At typical_Chicago is the main Twitter page. At Zlilia, Lilja, TCF is where you can find me on Twitter. Go to Facebook and Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans. Find us on there. We post all of our YouTube videos. All of our podcasts go up on there. So if you want to check that out, go to Apple, Spreaker, Spotify. Follow, rate, subscribe, review. Leave us a 5-star rating. We put out the podcast version of this. We also put out our TCF, or the Typical Chicago Fan podcast, I guess is how you would say it. I got it wrong a few times on there. I kept saying the TCF Morning Show because it's kind of like ingrained in my head now. But we're going to have episode 60 up there this morning. The videos, both of the videos for this and the podcast, I've kind of got behind on putting some of the podcast video up. YouTube, maybe make it a little bit quicker for me to load, and then I'll think about putting more videos up. It's an insane amount of time, but it's also maybe the Wi-Fi I have. Who knows? But I'm going to blame YouTube. Sorry. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. We got 39 right now, so get us to 40 here. Get us to 50 before the end of my birthday, January 10th. Get us 50 subscribers. I would love that. That would make my whole birthday.
Whoa, mine's right after yours. Mine's the 14th.
Really? I know a lot of January and February birthdays. A lot.
No, it sucks. I hate January birthdays though, man.
It's too close to Christmas.
It's not even that. It's you don't ever get to be outside for anything.
Maybe this year.
It's just maybe
this year. It's
maybe we
like
could have golfed. We could have golfed on Christmas Eve.
I know there's places in Aurora that were open to golf.
There was this place right by my house.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that. You remember you were going to take Owen and you guys were going to go golf 9.
Yeah, Tana Farms is open, I believe, too.
So go out there. I would love to golf right now. I miss golfing. Golfing is a nice little way to get away from things. And when it gets cold in winter, it's just you're stuck inside. I hate wintertime. But this has been the TCF Morning Show, Monday, December 30th. Probably one more show before the new year. Oh, well, definitely one more show, I guess. If we didn't do another show, it would be the next year. So we got one show left in 2020, boys.
One show left till 2020.
What did I say?
In 2020.
I'm already finished with 2020. I'm done with it. But like I said, 2020 is the year of TCF merch.
How quickly do we see that first tweet? I'm like, once 2020 arrives, who's gonna first tweet out? I'm already done with 2020.
When Zach loses his first bet on the Wednesday football game,
the Seahawks ruined 2020 for me. We're still in 2019. They ruined 2020 because the guy didn't know how to just a little bit farther.
How long? Pop quiz. How long do you actually have to say Happy New Year to people? By the way,
till the second. After the first, I'm done saying it.
I like it.
I'm done like 12:30 on freaking January 1st.
Right.
It's like enough is enough. Perfect. We're in 2020.
Move on with your life.
My mother's probably this way. She's going to be listening to this. She won't like this. But the people who say, "Oh, I wrote 2019. It's 2020." Blah blah. That gets you know if it's not 2020, it's not 2019 anymore. It's 2020. All right, we get it. It's like when the time changes.
Yeah.
Always. Oh, it should be this time. No, it's this time. We get it.
The other day I did write 2006 on something.
Well, that's insane.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
13 years ago.
I don't know what happened.
Shit, Boomy, I think that's just you going crazy.
I don't know what happened.
I get like 2018 maybe.
2006.
But 2006?
I was a sophomore in high school that year.
Was it a good year for you or something? Or what?
Yeah, there was. It wasn't a bad year.
But I'm just saying, I have not wrote anything like past like 2018 maybe down.
Yeah, at least twice in the last 2 months I wrote 2006, and the other day I wrote 2012.
Did you get worried when you put 2006?
I erased it and moved on.
Did you time travel?
Yeah, that might have been it. I've been having some lucid dreams.
You were 10
lately.
years off there.
Yeah, it happens.
You just wake up and you think it's 2006.
I didn't. I was in a hurry.
I know. I'm just saying that's about as late. I wrote a 1994 check the other day. Imagine that. Before I was born, I write a check. But again, thank you for watching, listening to the TCF Morning Show, Monday, December 30th. We'll be back tomorrow for one more show in 2019, not 2006.
There you go.
Not 2018, not 2020. Again, we love you all. Hope you guys have a great day, great Monday. You got through it.
Peace.
Yeah.